Greetings guitar freaks, I hope you're all doing extremely well. Welcome to my channel, my name is Steelianos and today we're gonna continue a series of tutorials that we've started a few weeks ago dedicated on the subject of intervals, what they are, how to figure them out, how to find them on the guitar. So we've already done every interval from the seconds to the fifths, so the next two things that we're gonna need today are the sixes and sevens. Maybe we'll check out the octaves as well. So let's start with the sixes. So a sixth interval is basically a reversed third interval. That means that if I count 6 notes starting on a C, I'd get C, D, E, F, G, A. If I count a third backwards, a descending third from a C, I'd get C, B, A. So I'm getting the same note, but with a different thought process. So depending on whether you're more comfortable with counting up or down, decide which one is better for you. So when we're looking for a sixth interval, at first we just count notes to get to the sixth note starting from a root. So for example, from the C it would be an A, C, D, E, F, G, A. Now to determine what kind of interval this is, we will reverse this interval. So from an A we'll get to the C, and we'll find that this is a third interval, and to be specific, since it's 1 whole step and a half, that means it's a minor third. What this means is that if we reverse it back to the original state of C to A, this gives us a major sixth interval. So whatever third you find when you reverse the sixth interval that you're looking for, you're gonna have to reverse the qualities as well. So for example, if I was looking for a minor sixth starting on C again, I'd still go to an A, then reverse this, find out that the A to the C is a minor third, reverse it back to a C to A, so this is a major sixth, and then bring the A down by 1 semitone, so I'd get A flat. And this is my minor sixth. So for example, if I do the same thing starting on an F and I'm looking for a minor sixth, I'll count up 6 notes, F, G, A, B, C, D, and then I'll reverse the interval from the F to D, D to F. I can see that this is a minor third interval, so the sixth, the F to the D, is a major sixth. So I just have to bring the D 1 semitone down. So D flat, this is my answer. Alright, so this is how you find out a sixth interval, whether it's a minor or a major one. And before I show you how to find them on the guitar as well, I think I'll explain the same thing about the sevenths as well. So the same relationship that we had between sixes and thirds, we have the exact same thing between the sevenths and the seconds. So every seventh interval is a reversed second interval. So you can either count up 7 notes starting on your root, or count a second below. So if I'm looking for let's say a minor seventh starting on a C, I'll count up 7 notes, so C, D, E, F, G, A, B. This is my 7th note, C to B. I'll reverse this, so this is a B to C. This is a minor second interval, and that means that if I reverse it back to become C to B, this is a major 7th. So now if I want to get a minor 7th, all I have to do is reduce the distance on my last note. So bring the B back 1 semitone, so it's going to be a B flat. Alright? And if we do the same thing, for example, for an F and we're looking for a minor 7, we'd still count up 7 notes, so we're getting an E starting on an F root. Reverse this, it becomes E to F, this is a minor second, and then if you reverse it back, it's going to be F to E major 7th. If I'm looking for the minor 7th, I'm bringing it down 1 semitone, so F to E flat. Alright, that's it. Now, let's see how to play those things. And starting on the sixes, well, I'll start with the minor sixth. Alright, there are 2 ways to play this one. First way is this. So starting on your root, whatever it is, actually let's start on the 6th string, 8th fret. You get in the minor sixth over here. And this is one way, 2 frets below and 2 strings apart. Actually, you're ending your interval on the D string, alright? And then the other way would be to play the C with our index finger and the minor sixth with our pinky on the A string, 11th fret, so the A flat, alright? So if I do the same thing on every string, I'm gonna get, and then on the A, it's the exact same fingerings. Now on the D, since I'm finishing on the B string, I have to change it a little bit. I have to bring the high note up a semitone because the tuning of the guitar changes. So, and then back to the usual, and then starting on the G string, I'm gonna get the exact same thing I had on the D as well, because I still have the change of tuning inside this fingering, and then I have to bring this up a fret as well because I'm finishing on the B string. And finally, if I go to the B string, I can only play with my index finger because I don't have another string. So the whole thing should sound like this. These are your minor sixes. Then let's go to the major ones. I'm bringing the last note up a fret, so the A, this is my note. So starting on the 6th string, and then with my index finger on the A string. On the D string, I have to bring this one up a fret, so, and then, and on the G, same thing, bring the last one fret high as well. And finally on the B string, and these are all your major sixes from each C on the guitar. Now let's go to the 7th. So first let's start with the minor 7, and I'm only gonna do one fingering for this one, so I'm gonna get this one, alright? And then over here, and over here as well. Moving on to the major 7th, so I'll have one finger would be this one. Starting on the 6th string, I'll finish on the 3rd, so on the G string. 4th fret, this is the B. And the other way to finger this would be with my index finger and the middle one. So if I move this to the next string, I have to bring the first fingering up a fret. So I can play it over here. And then over here. It's the same as before. Then on the D string, I'm gonna finish over here on the 7th fret, and I'm bringing this fingering one semitone higher, and finally over here. And these are all the major 7s. So if you move the last note of the major 7th up a fret each time, you're getting the octave. Alright, and this is the final one, I promise. So this is the first way to play an octave, and this is the other one. So over here, I'm bringing the last note, the octave, up a fret because it's on a B string, and then over here. Same thing goes for this one, and I have to raise my pinky as well, and finally over here. And that's it, I'm done. These are all my intervals, the ones that I'm gonna need to explain every different structure from triad, arpeggio, pentatonics, modes, whatever you name it. Now, how do we apply this new knowledge into things that we can have fun, a little bit of fun with? Well, last time I showed you how to play some triads, like the C major triad, for example, would be root, a major 3rd, and a perfect 5th. So another way to play the same thing would be this one. And the third way, and if I apply this to every string, I'm getting these results. Alright, and over here. Now, in order to see better, the next logical step to this would be to add the octave, right? We just learned the octave, so major 3rd, perfect 5th, and this is the octave, so, and this is one way to play it. Now, if I keep the same 3 notes over here, so the root, the major 3rd, and the 5th, but I change the octave to this one, I get this fingering, and this is a major triad, a major arpeggio, right? So the next way would be starting on the middle finger, so major 3rd, perfect 5th, octave and backwards. And the next one would be major 3rd, perfect 5th, octave and backwards. And if I do the same thing over here, I'll get one fingering, second fingering, 3rd fingering, and 4th. And if I move to the D string, actually I'd get another one, like this one. Alright? So as you can see, I get tons of different ways. And over here on the G string, this is one way to play it. Another one. A third one, and finally, I could also go like this, but this is too far. Alright, I'm gonna stop right there. So this is one way to explore the guitar with triads, major triads, minor triads. You know, if you change just the third from a major to a minor, you get this one. So this would become or. Alright, and you can then transpose this to other keys as well and move it around the strings in order to figure out different fingerings and patterns to play any major triad. The major, the minor, the diminished, which would be minor third and the diminished fifth, the augmented triad, which would be a major third and an augmented fifth. You could also try the sus triads, suspended second, so 1, 2, major second and major and perfect fifth, sorry, plus the octave if you want to, or over here, or maybe over here, and this one. Alright, or the sus4 triad, maybe like this, 1 perfect fourth, perfect fifth, and then the octave. So and another cool way to start applying your intervals would be to start looking at the major scale, the major seventh maybe. So you add one interval to the existing knowledge of the major triad, for example. So you'll get root, major third, perfect fifth, and major seventh. So you could get something like this. Major seventh over here, or actually the first thing would be this one. Alright, don't stretch it. Add the octave if you want to. So major seventh, another fingering, and another one, and another one, and a different one as well. Or you can even look at this right over here. So this would be the seventh. So there are hundreds of different possibilities, triads, four-voice arpeggios and chords that you can experiment with. This is all common knowledge. I'm gonna do dedicated videos to the different structures in the following lessons, but I'm not gonna talk too much about the intervals. This is your chance to think, to learn how to think and locate them on the guitar, and it takes months of practice, but your fingerboard knowledge and fretboard visualization goes over the roof, man. It's totally worth it. You should experiment and try it. And another thing would be to try the major scale. So for example, every interval is either a major second, third, sixth and seventh, or a perfect fourth and fifth. If I play them in order, root, major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh, and this is my octave, and then backwards. Alright? And this is just one fingering. If I change, for example, the seventh from this one, right now I just played seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, major sixth, major seventh over here, and then the octave. Now if I change the major seventh and bring it over here, I'd get something like this. If I start with my middle finger, if I start with my index, so here you are. Then if I start on the A string, root, major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh, octave, and the whole thing. Now if I change the seventh and bring it over here, I'd get, and then with my middle finger and with my index finger as well. Now starting on the D string, I'd get major second, major third. Now the perfect fourth has two places that we can locate it. 1, 2. So then go at first over here. Then this is my perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh, octave. So 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 2, 3, 4. 4 as well. 5, 6, 7, 8. So the whole thing. First fingering. Second fingering, the other fourth. Now, what if I change the seventh and bring it over here? So, and then what if I start with my middle finger? 1, 2, major second, major third, perfect fourth, and then I have a fifth both here and here as well. I'll start with this one. 1, major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, sixth, major seventh, and the octave, and backwards. Now if I change the fifth, over here, sixth, seventh, octave. If I change the octave from here and bring it over here, and then if I start with my index finger, major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh, octave. And then if I move the sixth from this one to this one, I'd also get. So all in all, on the string, I'm getting 8 different combinations. Number 1, number 2, number 3, then number 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally 8. And then on the G string, I'd only have 4 different combos. Like, I'm starting with the first one, which is major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, seventh, and then the octave. So, and then the other ones would be major second, major third, fourth, perfect fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, and the octave. So, and then fourth and fifth on the B, and then the other ones on the high E. And finally, I'm thinking about the intervals each and every time I'm playing one octave right now. And after you really learn those, you can always transpose them to other keys as well. So for example, let's say I'm limiting myself in playing every tonality in the frets 3 to 7, alright? So over here I'd get the C major, 1 octave, right? Then F. And I'm picking one combination, one fingering that fits me to play in between those frets that I limited myself to. So it's not going to be one standard fingering for each of the tonalities. I'm going to figure them out again and again in order to become better at it. And then same frets, B flat, so E flat, A flat, D flat, F sharp, B, sorry, E, A. Or you could also play this one, D, and finally G, or this one. Choose whichever you like, whichever you prefer and suits you better, and then move to other frets like the 5th to the 9th maybe, and then try to find them each major chord, each major scale, inside those frets as well, and limit yourself to this in order to find the perfect fingering for each one of the positions that you can try. First, start with the 1st to the 5th fret, 3 to the 7, 5 to 9, 7 to 11, 9 to 13, and 11 to 15, and you've covered everything on the guitar. And you can do this for a long period of time. You don't have to stress yourself too much over it, but you have to think about the intervals. And if you already know your intervals really well, then by changing just one of them, you get a totally different sound. So for example, we just talked about the major scale. What about the Lydian mode? The Lydian mode is really similar to the major scale, which is the Ionian mode. The only difference is, instead of a perfect fourth, you have an augmented fourth. So if I had this finger for the C Ionian, then I change the perfect fourth to an augmented fourth, so over here or here, and get a totally different sound, the Lydian, the C Lydian mode. So, and another way to play this one, and another one. Remember, I have major second, major third, augmented fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh, octave, and another way. And then when you've done different modes as well, if you want to learn the fretboard really well, even if you already know your scales, a cool way to navigate the fretboard again would be to start connecting smaller octaves into larger 2-octave patterns, like combining two different octaves of the C major scale to get 2 octaves of C major scale. So for example, from this C to this one, and then from this one with another fingering. So I'm just picking the first one we did over here and the first one over here, but if I change the last one to this, I get a different overall shape. Or maybe I can play this one or this one. So from one finger in the 6th string, I'm getting 4 different results. And then if I change it a little bit, I can use this one and backwards. Or and if I start with my middle finger, you see where this is going? Well, it's not endless, but there's a lot of potential and possibilities and a lot of ground to cover just by knowing the basic intervals and the things I told you in this video regarding triads and the major scale. If you experiment enough with this, I believe that your fingerboard visualization abilities will explode. And you'll be much better, you'll be more confident and able to see and improvise with much more freedom and confidence and with much less fear in your playing, provided that you also transpose this to different keys like the F major, the B flat, and whichever other you prefer. So there, that was it for today. I know it wasn't an easy lesson. Well, the 6s and 7s were easy, but if you want to truly take advantage of owning your all of your intervals, you should definitely try playing this way as well and combining your knowledge to larger structures and thinking them like this. And another final cool way to practice your intervals would be to limit yourself, as we said before about the scales, and just practice this one interval that you learned. So for example, let's take the 7ths, alright, the 7ths, and let's play major 7ths. I'm gonna start in the frets 1 to 5, alright, and I'm looking for a C major 7th, for example, inside these frets, so it can be this one. I can't play it anywhere else. And then if I look for an F, it's gonna be this one, or maybe this one. And for a B flat, or for an E flat, A flat, and then D flat, I'm gonna play this one. And then what do we have? F sharp, or maybe this one. B, so I'm gonna use this one. And then to an E. A, I'm gonna use this one. And then to the D. And B. Or maybe this one. And then after I do this, in time, I'm gonna move to the next frets, 3 to 7, starting on C, then moving to an F, B flat, E flat, etc., etc., and move on to different areas of the neck. And do this for every interval that we've learned so far. Minor seconds, major seconds, everything. Even your octaves. This is gonna help you develop your fingerboard knowledge a lot as well. Now, I'm gonna put some. Now, if you wanna explore different tonalities as well, but are finding a hard time to do so, I should let you know that I'm also uploading loads of stuff about each of those videos that I'm doing right now on my Patreon page. So over there you can find transcriptions and diagrams and even transposed intervals into different areas on the guitar and different tonalities, or all the things that I mentioned about the major scale and the different fingerings. Well, I'll attach a PDF file that is gonna include all the fingerings that you can use for one octave of C major scale all over the fretboard. So hopefully you'll have lots of stuff to draw inspiration from, and if you need them in written form as well to help you organize your practice plan a little bit better, then you can check out my Patreon page. Thank you very, very much for staying with me and watching this video in its entirety today. I really appreciate it. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and press the like button and leave a comment and help the channel grow and get some more viewers that might enjoy this. We're doing something very, very specific, guitar teaching, guitar lessons, and it's not the type of guitar that most people are looking into. It's not, simple chords and playing songs and stuff. It's more advanced thinking, and it's really tiring for a brain to think this much and get in shape with the fingerboard visualization skills. So let's get to the right one. Thank you very, very much. Take care. Until the next time.